Welcome to Simsbury Farms Golf Magazine. In this episode, Mark is going to show you how to shape shots into the fairway.
And Karen's going to show you how to hit half shots to the green.
Enjoy the show.
Sit back and relax and enjoy.
At the 9th hole at Simsbury Farms. Today we're going to take a look at the half swing, when we use it, why we use it, and how to use it. I'm sure you've found yourself in a situation where you're between clubs as you approach the green. What you want to do is use a half swing. I'm going to demonstrate first of all what a half swing really is. When we take the club back, we want to have a nice hinge. We're still hinging and turning, hands no higher than the waist. Most important thing as we hit this shot is to make sure that we're still accelerating through the shot. Many people will decelerate thinking that the half swing is a softer swing, but when we abbreviate the backswing and continue with a pretty full swing on the follow through, that acceleration becomes very important for hitting down on the ball, getting the ball up in the air, and a nice soft landing onto our green. The mechanics of the swing: we begin at address position, and with a soft shot, we're going to play it about one ball closer to our back foot. Club comes back and hinges. The important thing with this shot is that the club stays in front of your body the whole time, as opposed to a full swing where we take the club back. We're going to stop the club, hands about waist high. Load it up still on that right side. We drop the club into the slot, rotate through, finish down the line to our target. The important thing with this shot, one, is that we get the hinge in there. So often we'll see a half shot where people only take the club back here. If we have any kind of ball that's nestled down, we're not making contact with the ball. Definite hinge. Second mistake we see quite often is a deceleration, thinking that because it's a half shot, we have to hit it very softly, when acceleration is what we're looking for definitely through the shot, and a finish about waist high again, pointing towards our target and also facing our target. The half shot is also a drill that we use often in teaching. It teaches you impact position, it also teaches you the swing plane, and it gets you bringing the club through the body with acceleration. Love to use this in teaching when we have people having a little problem making clean contact with the club. This drill bottoms out the swing, teaches you where impact is, and also teaches you hinging, unhinging through the shot. Again, we set the ball up about one ball towards our back leg, take the club up waist high, acceleration through the shot, finish facing my target. I'm at the 14th hole at Simsbury Farm, and as you can see, we have a brand new bunker. And with me today is Doug Beach, golf course designer. Doug, tell us a little something about your background.
Well, I grew up here in Simsbury, Karen. I graduated from the high school in 1972, and my first job was here at Simsbury Farms. I worked 2 years in the pro shop in 73 and 74, and two summers on the maintenance crew in 75 and 76. So I have a love for this place, and I left for 27 years and couldn't stay away, and now I'm back.
And we're glad to have him. Doug has done all of the design for the new bunkers. Fortunately, we've been able to do most holes of the course thanks to his designs, but also to the help of Mike Wallace and his crew. Tell us about the cost that's incurred redoing these bunkers.
Well, we're fortunate to have Mike Wallace because he not only is the superintendent of the golf course, maintains the golf course, but he also has the ability to do this kind of work, and not everybody can do that. You have to be an artist You have these big, huge machines. You have to be an artist to create these shapes, and Mike fortunately has that ability. And therefore, we were able to do the work in-house. We didn't have to get an independent contractor involved, and we're able to save a whole lot of money in the process. So it was a win-win for everybody.
Excellent. Doug, what was the reason for redoing many of these bunkers on the course?
Well, we did an analysis, Karen, and obviously the bunkers were 40 years old. That's how old the golf course is. Hard to believe, but it is. And there were some problems. Some of them didn't drain properly. Many of them had a poor quality of sand as a result of pebbles and dirt migrating up from the bottom of the bunkers. There was a disconnect between the bunkers and the surrounding areas as a result of people hitting shots out of the bunkers for 40 years. They take sand with them, and it was creating an edge. Sometimes the bunkers were higher than the surrounding terrain, and that's not good. And then, frankly, a lot of the bunkers just were not attractive looking. And a big part of golf courses' appeal for me is how they look. And so I think that's very important, and I think that's something we tried to handle as well.
Doug is going to tell us a little bit now about the steps that go into recreating, remodeling these bunkers, starting at the beginning with the old bunkers that we're happy to be rid of.
I'm happy too. The problem is the golf course is 40 years old, and as you can see over the years they've been adding sand in the routine maintenance, and also people have been hitting shots out of these bunkers for 40 years. So you see there's a disconnect now between the sand and the surrounding terrain. You can see how this is built up instead of being down like a bunker should be. You can also see the worn turf around the edge of the bunker. That's a result of the grass trying to grow in dry sand conditions, which is very difficult, so it's not attractive. Another problem we have is pebbles. The quality of the sand, there's rocks and pebbles which are a hindrance not only to maintenance, but to the people who are trying to hit shots out of the bunker. Finally, you can see the bunker itself. It's not attractive. It's just a blob, basically. And we wanted to put a little bit of shape into it, make it look interesting to the players. Some of the bunkers on the golf course also have drainage problems. They don't drain well after rainstorms, so we needed to correct that as well. Here's an almost finished bunker complex. We don't have the sand in it yet, but it's getting close. You can see how originally we had one bunker here. It was like a big long ramp. It was probably about a 10 or 15 foot elevation difference inside the bunker. Here we've split it into two separate bunkers. It's more like stairs, stair-stepping its way up the hill. The bunkers are a little more bowl-shaped. You can see the drainage pipes inside underneath the tarp. We've got about a 6-inch edge where the sand will be placed, and I think it's pretty darn good looking too. So that's going to make it not only function better, but it's going to be more interesting and better looking for the players. You can see the last step, the guys are putting in the sand. They're dumping it in. They're using a trap rake to push the sand around, and soon that will be finished, and we'll let it settle for a few days and it'll be opened for play.
And this, Doug, is a brand new bunker here on number 14 at the Farms. What was the purpose in putting a bunker in on this hole?
14 is a relatively short par 5, and a lot of the guys try to go for the green in 2 shots.
The girls do too.
Well, I think both the guys and the girls need to think a little bit before they go for that green. Know that there's a little bit of trouble here. One of the concerns that was given to me previously was that the golf course has become a little bit easier than it was 40 years ago because of the new equipment. The fact that the golf ball goes farther than it used to.
Technology in the clubs.
Exactly. So we needed to strengthen this a little bit, and I think this bunker does the trick.
It's awesome bunker. Doug, what other changes would you like to see in the course in the future?
Right now, we're concentrating on the greenside bunkers because we think that's the most important part of a golf hole, and we want everything consistent. But I would love to be able to finish all the bunkers on the golf course and even add a few, because I think adding a few is going to give this golf course a real wow factor. That will bring in people from out of town who are going to hear about it, and I think it'll just, overall, it'll spend a little money, make more money. I'm all for that, and I think that's what we should do.
I agree. Doug, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Simsbury Farms Golfing Magazine. I wanted the people in Simsbury to understand how fortunate we are to have not only you, but Mike Wallace and his crew, and explain a little bit about our new bunkers up here at the farms.
Thanks, Karen. It's great to be back.